This isn't your typical motorsports podcast. You're listening to Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts. A show where we take you inside the minds of your favorite drivers, past and present, of the monster truck industry. And now, your hosts, Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash. Buckle in. The show starts now.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast. My name is Mr. Incredible. No, it's not Mr. Incredible. And my name is Bradshaw, also known as the only Monster Truck Canucker. And welcome, guys. Oh, Cheech, I see you in the little display thing there. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day. It is a nice, chill day here in Alberta, Canada. Sorry if my voice is a little nasally. I'm battling a bit of a head cold right now. But this is going to be an awesome episode, guys. Tonight, we have Mr. Berto Trevino from Team Throttle Monster coming on. Berto's an awesome guy. I've getting to see him drive for a couple of years now, and now we get him on the podcast. Team Throttle Monster, they're just growing leaps and bounds. You look at this last weekend there. The boss man, Mike Christensen, getting an overall win in Monster Jam. Dalton Widener killing it. Everybody with Team Throttle Monster killing it this year. But guys, before we get into the show, we have a couple kind of things to go over. Go check out Monster Truck Attitude on Facebook and YouTube, Thursday Night Thunder. Me and Cheech are 1-1 right now in the world of Monster Truck Attitude. We were in the current. I'll just bring them on. I'll bring them on. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
We got it. So you and me are 1-1 right now. I have one win over you. You have one win over me.
Yes. But we did pretty good to the prior of our match. You took out, two guys, and I made it to the semis and got beat by the winner of the event, Josh Rhodes. Josh Rhodes' first time coming out, he did the same thing I did. First time I did that stuff, the truck, I won my first time doing it, but for the last couple outings with that Raymunition truck that Steve had put together, it's been really consistent. I really haven't been anywhere lower than the semis in the last 2 months out. So, but prior to that, I got knocked down the first round by Mr. Incredible. Is that Mr. Incredible? If he takes off, it's Brad. Hi, Brad. It's Mr. Incredible. What happened to Brad? What
Brad's
did you do to
not
Brad?
here. I killed him.
Mr. Incredible doesn't talk like that.
I don't know how he talks.
Mr. Incredible. What happened to Brad? Hey, it's Brad. What's going on,
I'm here.
Brad?
Hey.
Oh, man. There was a guy there earlier, and I didn't know who he was. Oh, no. That's Brad. Brad, everyone's safe. No more Mr. Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a good outing in either of us. We didn't make it to the final round, but hey, we're 1-1 apiece. But we also have a couple of things. Go check out J Concepts. Use our code Crush This at jconcepts.net for all 50% off all items. They sponsored a lot of stuff with your HBR Classic, and
which was a good outing. Yep.
Yeah. We'll be talking about that later as well. Go check out our good buddy Bryce Kenny's book. You see it on the bottom there. The Geared for Life, Making a Shift into Your Full Potential. Go check that out. Me and Cheech have the digital copies, and hey, it's such an amazing book that Bryce has made. And, he came on the podcast quite a while ago, but we'd love to have him back on. Go check out Bryce Kenny's limslikeme.org. Colvinard, sorry. Colvinard's limslikeme.org. Go check that out. And we have a lot of stuff going on with our 10th anniversary. The new intro is in from Mr. David Lee. And, dude, he killed it again. You guys aren't ready for what we got cooking. But let's get into it.
A new commercial from Back Channel, too. So it's not the 10th season yet, but it's his newest 9th one. So we're going to put that on here starting next week.
Yeah. But we're going to get into our interview, guys. He is currently driving for Team Throttle Monster, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Berto Trevino. Berto, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty well. We finally got you on. It actually took almost the beginning of the month when I asked you, but you were so stacked and busy and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go first. The end of the month, which is just a few days, and I guess they release the news at the Arizona State Fair that Too Tall was retiring.
Yeah.
David Alfred, mainly the guy that flagged the orange Velociraptor. Hey, Mr. Incredible's back. What happened to Brad? But anyway,
Who's
you know,
Brad?
and he was kind of one of the, I guess, the foundations of the organization when it first started. You know, Paul,
Yep.
Mike, his brother also, Paul's brother. And then Too Tall was kind of one of the first guys that got involved with the team. But man, having him, kind of setting sail and going back home. What was it like being with Too Tall and how he was with the team?
Well, I got to spend a lot of time with Too Tall on the road towards the end there. Me and him were paired up for a few different weekends back to back, and he was one of the reasons why I did get involved with the team. At World Finals last year, I had kind of I was just working behind the scenes last year, and I saw him and met up with him, talked to him, and asked him if there was any opportunities with the team, and he was instantly like all on board.
Hold on 1 second. I'll get off 1 second here.
Oh, you're good.
I don't. Somebody probably coming to talk to him, but yeah, you were talking to Too Tall at the World Finals.
Yeah. Because of Too Tall, he motivated me to really try to push myself back into driving again, and at a much higher level with Team Throttle Monster. I mean, they've just got so much going on, and to be honest, it was almost intimidating at the beginning, but I got super lucky. Like, I got to rub elbows all year long with Too Tall and Dalton Widener and just everybody, man. Everybody's so good on that team. So it was awesome to have Too Tall next to my side so much. I mean, anytime I was in the shop working on something, if I ever had any questions with anything, he would instantly lend a hand out and not just like tell me what to do, but explain why and like how it all makes sense. And so, I mean, he loves this sport to the core. And so that's why I got along with him so well. And I mean, I wish we still had him on the team right now. And, everybody's using the word retire, but I haven't heard him use that word just yet. But yeah, I mean, it was that weekend in Arizona and Phoenix was super special. I mean, we were all trying to gear up towards that last event of the weekend. We knew Too Tall was going to close out the event. And obviously all of us that were driving or just working there, we're just waiting to just get out of our trucks and watch Too Tall just to see what he's going to do. And whenever he went out for skills early on in the event, he actually broke a spindle in the rear. And it was such that fair style event was real quick. There's not even an intermission. There's not even a halftime. So there was no bringing his truck back. We immediately started changing the pedal systems in Tim Hall Jr.'s truck, and we got Too Tall as fast as we could to get fitted in Tim's truck. And he went right out there and burned it down. And it was so fun to watch. And we're all scared that he wasn't even going to be able to freestyle. And we just couldn't let him go out like that. Like, everybody jumped on board and made sure we were literally getting him seated with him in the truck for going out and changing everything, changing the pedals, getting the steering wheel to him. Like, everything was just needing to be just right. So that way we knew he could actually burn it down. So that was awesome. I mean, he just ripped the video from the sideline. I sent it to him. Hopefully maybe he'll make a little something out of it at some point, throw it online. But yeah, it's been super awesome these last few weeks, especially just being paired with him in a trailer, and all the stuff I've learned from him is priceless. I mean, anybody who loves this sport to the core like that, I want to get to know, and I want to know like what they think about everything and learn from them. So he's an awesome, awesome person to learn from.
Well, what happened?
A gentleman came over and asked me if I could help jumpstart his truck, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Normally, I'm in your setting right now, Cheech.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm in actually, if anyone's wondering, I'm heading to Florida to do a hot seat display for this big cleaning convention. I'm right now about, I think, like 5 miles outside the Kentucky-Tennessee line, and when I was looking at my GPS and I saw red on a bunch of lines near Nashville, I know I was going to be in Nashville for quite some time, so I might as well call it a night.
Yeah.
And just wait until tomorrow when everything's cleared up, or I have some time on the road just to chill, because Nashville's kind of like Austin, Texas, where it's only like, yeah, you have a little bit of your 3-digit ones, but the main street is like right smack dab in downtown Nashville. So
yeah, it's hard to get around in the semis.
Yeah, so I saw that and I was like, I gotta be there in a certain time. I'm right now a little bit ahead of schedule, so I'm gonna take full advantage of the opportunity and find a parking spot and go from there. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm still in Kentucky, but I'm not that far away from Tennessee. So
nice.
that'd be a good weekend. So
heck yeah,
take advantage of the warm weather. Where you gonna be at this week? Are you guys off for this week or?
Some of the guys got some stuff. My truck just at the Phoenix Fair was the last event of the weekend, the last weekend for the year for me, for my truck altogether. So as soon as I got back to the shop from there, I just started stripping it down, getting stuff pre-ready for doing some Q1 prep work as soon as I get back. But I went ahead and made a trip down home. This is the first real gap in time I have to come home and do anything. And so I actually came down here so that way I could knock out my CDL right now. And just because of the last team I was with, I didn't really need a CDL. I had the toter homes and the buses that we drove. So now, it's just, it'd be a lot easier on everybody if as many people as we could have CDLs. I mean, I'd like to say that just for anybody who's thinking about working with a monster truck team, get your CDL, and trust me, like, there'll be a spot for you.
This last year has been one of the best years for you guys with Team Throttle Monster. So many new drivers coming to the fold. I was lucky to be there for Carson's first win in Edmonton. Tim is killing it. Devin getting an overall in his hometown in Las Vegas. Just talk about the growth that is happening within the team. You look at also Too Tall making it to the World Finals, and just like a major showing up for him as well there, Dalton as well. Yeah. So talk about, how this year has been for you guys and just the growth of the team and the leadership from Paul and Mike and just how you guys are just gelling this year.
Man, it's been very, for as crazy as it's been. I mean, we've all been in a bunch of different trailers all over the country. If you were to look at our schedule, you would actually see how many different states we're all in almost at the same time. And then we all see each other for like a brief moment whenever we're back at the shop, getting everything turned around. If somebody, needs spare parts, we're sharing it from trailer to trailer. A lot of, to be honest, like a lot of the coexisting of the team being so good is that it's almost everything we do off the track. I mean, all the stuff that we do off the track, just we're all working together. We all have a good idea of what needs to be done every single day. If somebody's finished up with something, they'll turn right around and help the other guy. And it truly is like that. And so it's just made it to where it's easy for us to progress because we're never falling behind. So thankfully, I mean, it's awesome to be part of a team where there's so many people working like as hard as they do. I can't think of one person at all that slacks. So, I mean, it's been a blessing that I get to be surrounded by so many guys that are seriously wanting to do this for the love of it. And we're all so fortunate to have Mike and Paul give us like some of the best machines out there. I mean, if you look at the truck Devin's driving right now, that thing is brand new and he's just dialing it in right now for next year. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in that truck. And so, I mean, it's just been awesome. I mean, if you look at just this last weekend, I mean, I think Mike and Dalton were 1 and 2, right, on the overalls.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's incredible. I mean, that's just awesome. So we're all in a group chat together. Everybody's always hyping each other up. And I think, it's just wanting to be a part of that hype up always between everybody. I mean, it's awesome.
I got my first fan question, And fan question, the person just says named Jessica, no last name. Normally would say the last name, but the person didn't say the last name. They want to know how often are you in Utah at home in the shop during a season?
Well, I mean, if you look at our schedule, anytime that we're traveling, anytime an event is right there within the West Coast, I mean, we're right back and forth, right back and forth. And as soon as the event's done, we're loading up. We're getting straight back to the shop because it's just so much easier to work out of our shop. I like the setup of our shop. But another cool thing, though, is like we're also have like this year we've traveled up to New York. Me and Dalton went to New York. We went to the Carolinas a few times and all around that area too. So we've had several different guys' shops that we've been able to stay at and work at just all throughout the country. But it's always nice when we get to go back to our own place and work with our stuff that we're real familiar with. But I mean, I would say maybe half. If you were to really split it, maybe a little more than half. We're usually in Utah.
One person I kind of wanted to quickly highlight before we move on is Mason Paul. I got to work with him in Edmonton at the Edmonton show. I got to work with, Carson, Tim, Joe, and all your guys that you had up there. And Mason works his ass off. He is one of the most hardest working people in monster trucks. I will say that right now.
Absolutely.
That dude, like, I tried my best to help him whatever he needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was times where he was just on a mission, like focused, and like it's so awesome to see him getting chances to drive, and just I wanted to shout him out because that dude is seriously one of the best people in the sport I've met.
He is. Hey, not only that, honestly, he's maybe even created a little double-edged sword for himself because he is so good at working on trucks. It's almost hard to want to take someone like that away from that side of the job. If you take him away from that and put him in a seat, we all want to see it. But then, we got to find two people to make up for him working on trucks. So he's kind of done that to himself a little bit there. But I mean, yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, Mason, and then Dalton, you, and all the guys that I always feel like it's kind of cool seeing what the camp of Team Throttle Monsters is, with a lot of drivers coming from different areas throughout the United States. Then Throttle Monster seeing the potential. Talk about how this team looks at you. It looks at you, Too Tall. People that have been, I guess you would say, denied or have limited access to Monster Truck World, but know that you worked your butt off to get to that seat. But other people didn't see what's going on. But you have Team Throttle Monster seeing, hey, we see something in you, just like how Hall Brothers saw something in me, and see something in you guys, because I feel like I'm in the same basket with you guys. I worked my tail off from Monster Jam, and then I was in a short stint with Dirt Crew, and finally kind of have a home with Hall Brothers Racing. But a lot of you guys now have a home with Team Throttle Monster. So I'll talk about Team Throttle Monster on how they see something that maybe you didn't see in yourself because of what other people had said to you mentally, to a point where now you have a home.
Well, I had driven for a smaller independent team before, and then I had left and I had gone back to just go home, kind of do a home life thing again, try to get some stuff together. And then while I was doing that, I went back to my back behind the scenes role with Monster Jam, just like you had been before. And so I was working safety stuff with Monster Jam as a tech official. And it was actually Cody Saucier on my tour that he came right up to me and it was just like, how come you're not driving? And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I was kind of shocked that he would even, I'd never met him. It was how I met him, was him saying that to me. And so, he had seen some potential just from some of the stuff that I had been a part of before. But that hearing him say that really motivated me to want to get involved with a team that does do stuff at a very high level and not be afraid to try. So he kind of egged me on, pushed me there. Once I said, like I was saying earlier, once World Finals came around, it was actually Cody that was talking with Too Tall in that moment, and I came up and talked to them. And then after talking to Too Tall, he'd seen some of the small stuff I had done before as well, and he kind of had some words to tell me as far as encouragement went and what I should be I should join the team and this and that. And so I decided right then and there, like, yeah, if I'm able to join, I don't care if I got to just sweep the shop for a while and start back on the bottom. Doesn't bother me one bit. I just want an opportunity. And so same thing whenever I had first talked to Mike, Mike, whenever I had first joined the team, I mean, one of the things that has to get discussed is like how much you're getting paid or whatever, as far as, starting with the team. And I told him, dude, before I even say anything like that, I just want to get paid an opportunity. If you can pay me an opportunity first, that's where I would want to excel. That's all I care about. So it's been pretty sweet. I mean, like, I've been on a steady, gradual system with them where I'm allowed to just keep progressing and progressing and progressing. Whereas I've been a part of situations before where there's just kind of a ceiling there, and you can't really get past it. So, but had I not done that stuff before, I would never have been given the opportunity I have now. It all worked out. Everything worked out. So if I had to give anybody any advice, I mean, honestly, I would take anything that you can do to get involved, because that's all I ever did in the beginning. I didn't know a soul in monster trucks just right before COVID, 2019. I didn't know a single person yet. And I'd say a lot's happened since then. So it's been super awesome, man. I mean, Mike and Paul, they're just super gracious to us. Like they really do give us incredible equipment. It's up to us to maintain it. It's up to us to fix it. I've broken some stuff, but and guess who had to fix it? And then as soon as all that stuff turns right back around, you show you're serious and you get down to work, then the next opportunity comes and the next opportunity comes, and it's literally just never giving up, never stopping.
Well, I think one of the coolest things with Team Throttle Monster is that they do stuff with a lot of different promoters. You just did your first full quarter with Monster Jam, but you've also done some stuff with Toughest and other promoters. And how is that your first, full first quarter with Monster Jam? Obviously, behind you have the Monster Mutt Rottweiler plush truck, and that was the identity you were under for most of first quarter. So how is that going into it, and what your kind of expectations were going into it?
Well, whenever I was working that last year as a tech official, I remember I had requested to always have me in the stands so I can stay on top of, like everybody, it bugs me whenever trucks get shut off for the wrong reasons. So I want it to be a good reason of why things always were flowing good. But at the same time, while I was out there working on the floor, I was dead staring, paying attention to how these guys were driving on that pod. Because some of these arenas are really small. The dirt's different everywhere. Some places are super tacky. And I was watching Brandon Toluchka, Cody Saucier, Tony Oakes. I mean, John Zim Jr. I had some of the best guys in the world to watch. So I was just like really studying what they were doing just in case I ever got the chance to actually drive in the Monster Jam arena. So by the time that opportunity came around with Throttle, I felt like I was somewhat ready because I had paid attention so much. I mean, I seriously was studying all last year right in front of my face. So it was pretty sweet to like finally get that experience and know that I am capable of doing it. And then, but I did spend a lot of this first quarter learning. I was just, every weekend was like a new chance to learn. I mean, a lot of people don't understand, like, us as independents, we don't have practice for tricks and stuff like that. So, that all happens at the next event, and it's just muscle memory and getting really close to your vehicle and knowing how to work your machine. And so, yeah, I mean, I've been learning basically all this first quarter, and now I'm like really excited to go back, especially on the West again, because we got a couple of big arenas on that one. So I'm really excited to go back now, having had already learned. Like, I can't wait to start a season now that I know what I'm doing.
And then you do a lot of outdoor stuff. Then, one thing when we talk about broken parts was that lawn dart that you had over there in Missouri.
Yeah, that was Lamar.
Lamar. Can you tell us?
Hold on 1 second. It's kind of funny you're mentioning that because, boom.
Oh, man.
I have it queued up.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see it.
So what were you thinking? Okay, so let's talk about, you're taking a look at the outside here.
Yeah.
So was it a shock situation that kicked you up that high, or was the ramp, were you questioning that hit in the first place, or what was your mindset prior to, I know during the show or prior to the show you had to look at that item.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, really, honestly, the main obstacle on that course that I was staring at so much before was the big gap for racing. I'd never done an over-under racing track before. So, to be honest, that was the jump that intimidated me, not really anything else out there. But yeah, I'd never done a step up like that, and if I'd have had half speed, it would have done exactly what I wanted it to do. But because I wanted to downside the other side, and I was trying, and I did hit it to where I definitely downsided. But
kind of like that, right? Was that what you wanted to do?
Nah, even more. Like, I mean, I really wanted to be honest, like, Too Tall was there, and I love the way Too Tall downside stuff a lot. So right here, if I'd have been going half speed from this, it would have just done the thing I was hoping it would do, which later on I did do. If you go to Pueblo, Colorado with Toughest, they had the same ramp set up there, and I got it dialed in there. But to be honest, I mean, that was probably my first time ever driving on a real big open space, and it really, I told everybody, when after the fact, but it truly didn't feel like I was going all that fast. It didn't feel like I was seeing a bunch of stuff rush past me, but it was definitely double the speed of what it probably should have been. Yeah, so this one right here, they got it right there in the middle, somewhere in this run. I pop around and I hit that thing just right. That's what I was trying to do over there for sure. This was
you were there for this, Cheech, weren't you? You were in Colorado at the same time.
Cheech was there.
Yeah, I was there Friday night to watch, and then Saturday I had to work, which I was just down the block. But yeah, I didn't know all the chaos was happening Saturday. Friday seemed pretty. It was a pretty good show on Friday, but the way I was hearing stories from the fans and stuff, it seemed like it was pretty chaotic. There we go.
That's what I was trying to do. So luckily, I got to redeem myself at that one with the same promoter. But yeah, that was just learning experience right there. I mean,
do you feel like you're part of the members of the Roughneck team? Because I heard stories of them taking out the front housing and all that stuff, and before you know it, it doesn't look like it's damaged or anything like that the next day. And I heard they're night owls. So
yeah, trust me.
First taste of that.
I've experienced the Roughneck and Crew Behavior boys do that firsthand. Okay, those boys will destroy the front ends of their trucks. Next day, nothing happened. But then you look at their pit stall and there's empty beer cans everywhere, parts, tools are just like, yep.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy.
What chassis? Because I know Team Throttle has a bunch of different chassis manufacturers. What chassis are you driving currently right now that you're getting ready for next year?
So I'll still be in the same one I've been in. That chassis was purchased from Tim Mente, and that one's real special to me. It's an Eddie. That one's an Eddie chassis. It's about similar to what Dalton's driving, and Mike. And Yep. And also, I had worked a show a while back. We did like that TNT Unfinished Business, and that was the truck Gary Porter drove his old school Carolina Crusher. So that was just that alone, and I love that chassis because he drove it.
Don't you guys have the tires too? Who's running the tires now?
Which tires?
The Firestones. Didn't you guys get them with the truck also?
I haven't seen them laying around the shop at all. They They probably got sold before I got there.
Oh, okay.
So when you were driving with the other team there, the Harper's team, and you got to drive Equalizer, was it the front engined one that you got to
Oh
drive?
yeah.
How
Yeah.
how was driving that thing? Because that would have been those like
Oh,
like
man.
that truck and the truck you're driving now two completely opposite ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah.
How was driving that old like Willman style chassis?
Not only that, I'd never even, until joining this team, I'd never driven with a toggle switch for my rear steer. Because like if you ever seen how Tom does it, how Mentz has his, it's like a thing to his left. It's like a big paddle, and he has a big handle on it that he pulls. So that's what I had in Equalizer, except I had it behind the shifter. I had it on my right side. So when I would shift, I would 1-2 and then pull my hand right back down, and my shifter was right next to my hip, or my rear steer was right next to my hip.
Huh.
So that's how. And I always, all my in-cab positions, you only see one arm working because this one's always down here. But I was real comfortable with it. I loved it, man. I loved it. I think there needs to be more Willmans out there, man. Like that front engine Willman is what I really like about it is, like, since all the weight's in the front and the wheelbase is a little longer, you could just about hit every style ramp the same. If you just commit with the throttle through the ramp, it's always going to soar with the weight in the front like that. Always. Like, no matter how steep the ramp is, how mellow it is, you can just about do the same technique always, and it's always going to soar. So I love the Willman. If I could drive one now,
Should have told Mike to talk to Tom and see if he can borrow the Mentz chassis and put Rottweiler on it, and then go from there.
I'd love to. That's had a mutt body on it before, one of them Willmans.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you could drive the front engine like that, and you'd be all right.
I'd love to. I mean, I love what I got right now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I got it figured out, but that Willman style truck is just, I wish more people could have experience driving that kind of truck. It's nice. It's just really nice.
So
no wonder Tom loves it.
Yeah, and he's very successful for such a long time. And I mean, that chassis design, quite frankly, has been around since 1989, 1988. So, the revolution of it's been very, very good to it.
Yep.
I noticed in the background you're a skateboarder guy. I know we talked about earlier. A lot of people probably don't know that you were a skateboard shop owner.
Yeah.
In our generation, Bloom Chris, Bucky Lassick, obviously Tony Hawk, all these cats, was that your second form? I know probably during high school, probably that's something that was popular. I know in high school for me it was that or BMX, Dave Mira, Matt Hoffman, these cats that did bikes, I did that stuff, but a lot of my friends did skateboarding.
Yeah.
So, with that too, how did you get yourself into the skateboarding world, and how did you get your hands onto the store?
So whenever I was like really young, I'd always just watched X Games. And when I was watching X Games, I was mostly watching for the BMX stuff, to be honest. And that stuff just intrigued me when I was a kid. I just loved seeing people jump around with something on wheels. And so I was always looking out for X Games. And then the night that Tony Hawk landed his 900 that kind of catapulted him to fame, that was the first time I ever even saw what a skateboard was. I'd never even seen a cartoon of a skateboard. So I was like, what are they doing on that ramp? What's under their feet? And then he does this trick and everyone loses their minds. And I don't know what I just saw, but I knew it was special. And I just turned right around. I told my mom, I need one of those. I need a skateboard. And so then I did get a board for my very next birthday that came around, I believe. And that was before the Tony Hawk games that came out, like just shortly before. So then when I started skating, it was actually not even popular. Like it was quite the opposite. He almost got made fun of, actually. And then right after those Tony Hawk games came out, all of a sudden everybody wants a board. Yep. So then all of a sudden I got a lot more friends. But that was pretty much how I rolled right into it. And then anything I've ever really loved, like I take kind of to the extreme. So I was like really focused and zoned in on skating for years. And I did get to a point where there was I don't know if you know the company's Globe Shoes or
Oh yeah,
Circa Footwear. I had been sponsored by them at one point, and then after that, I had worked for the company Vans, the shoe company Vans. And while I was there, I decided, you know what, I want to do this myself. So then that's why I did the skate shop thing. So.
Dude, like
But
the
how did you get connected
90s.
with some of the companies and stuff like that?
What's that?
So how did you get yourself to talk to the companies about selling their product? And
Oh, yeah.
you know
that was a challenge.
I know some. Yeah.
That was a challenge at first because I really didn't know how any of it went. There's not really like a YouTube video where somebody just shows you how to make a skate shop and get it going. So I was doing just luckily, I mean, through skating that long and like similar to monster trucks, like the same way we have like a spider web of people in the industry. When you've been skating that long and you've been making trips and, me being in South Texas, I'd go up to Austin, Houston, and then make a trip to California or something. Like eventually you just start meeting more and more people. And then there's like distribution companies. So if you were to like look up I like a deck brand called Anti-Hero Skateboards. I love Anti-Hero. And I had to look up like,
CCS.
okay, who's there? Right. Similar. So like you would see in CCS, you'd see all the brands, but then there was brands that were connected. So then you had to like just look up basically the distribution name and contact them. That's what I did. So I ended up finding out what company made these companies, hit that company up, and then was able to. And some guys didn't want to mess with you yet. They wanted you to have a track record and you to be open for a few years before they ever touched your shop. But then I had a pretty crazy design with my shop. I actually built like a half pipe on the wall as the deck, where all the decks were displayed, all the skateboard decks. It was on a half pipe that was literally sideways on the wall.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
it was just an eye trip for people that walked in. It had coping and everything on it. So I thought that would just be a crazy thing for people to see and walk into. And that alone, when that started, like get pictures of it, got on Instagram and stuff like that, then the companies were like, hey, like we'd like to have our stuff on that wall. And that's how it went.
Well, like that era you talked about, the Tony Hawk days and everything, like the pro skater games, like we were talking a little bit before, like I like that those days. I remember when my parents got a PlayStation 1 and I picked up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the first time. It changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even joking. Like
yeah,
from the soundtracks,
yes,
skating. Like one of my favorite skaters, I'm so happy to see him still skating, Chad Muska.
Yeah, like absolutely. Yeah,
Muska was one of those, like he was so different at the time, because skateboarding at one time was more like punk rock image. Here comes Muska, hip hop,
boombox on the shoulder.
Oh, dude, like
yeah.
I still want that one. I think it was sponsored by Shorties. I think
I already know what deck you're gonna say.
Yeah,
the red bottom.
Yep,
he's a shadow sitting on it.
I want that deck so bad.
I just know. Yeah.
There's a few skateboard decks I still want. Any of the Element BAM ones.
Yeah.
But like
every once in a while that stuff gets reissued. And that's the kind of stuff I used to have in my shop. I miss running that place, to be honest, man. Because I would always try my best to look out for what people really want. Because it's difficult when you go into the mall or something and you have to sift through all kinds of stuff before you find something cool. I made it a point to where, like, if you ever walked into my shop, the only choice you got to make is what am I going to buy, because everything in here is somehow like all about it, So I really prided myself on that. But yeah, I know I already knew what deck you were going to say.
Yeah, that deck still to me is one of the nicest looking decks ever made.
Absolutely.
Deck's made out of spruce. I know there was a big kick last year, 2 years ago. Santa Cruz came out with this Pokemon theme deck deal when you try to collect these decks, but also they had like 4 or 5 of these gold and platinum themes.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to collect any theme skateboards that people were going after, or did you get?
Oh yeah.
Or did you have a lot of people requesting about them?
Yeah, whenever I would try my hardest to look ahead way far in advance to see what they were going to do. And like you were saying, Santa Cruz makes all kinds of awesome collaborations. And in my shop, I remember we had a primitive collection with I ordered the entire Dragon Ball Z series just because I knew like if I had one or two, people would ask, well, where's the other ones? So I ordered 3 sets of the whole series and it was on Instagram on the shop, and like they lasted like maybe 2 days in the shop. All these collectors came to get them because I knew what it would mean to them, like I wanted to have the whole thing there. So yeah, we had that, and there was like a Mars Attacks collab I remember getting in, and that stuff was pretty cool. But as far as like my personal collection goes, like I have some boards in storage that are just special to me because of what they were, or they're beat up and nobody would want them, but like I remember what I did with them or something like that. And the boards you're seeing behind here, this is my buddy Jamil. He does really cool wire art, and his whole thing is like it's one piece of wire, and that's kind of a picture of a guy skating on the board. But that's from my brand from the shop. So this one's one of my boards. This one was one of my boards. This is the first board I ever made, and that one, it's supposed to look like the Mexican Bingo Loteria cards. There's like the Borracho, the drunk guy card, and but the background, he's in front of my shop. So
that's cool.
That's kind of cool. And then obviously, I'm sure you can see what kind of graphic is happening over here.
Yeah.
Jim McShay himself did that for me, which is pretty sweet.
I was going to say it looks like a Jim McShay piece.
It is. Yep. And that was during COVID when everything was shut down and nobody was really doing anything for a hot minute. And I had just met him in Florida, and I talked to him about how I had the skate shop, and I loved how I had seen he did his glitter art on like longboards and stuff like that. So then I asked him, man, like, would it be cool if I specifically ordered this deck shape in a blank from my shop account? And it's like, if you were to look at it straightforward, it looks kind of like a coffin. And so,
that's dope.
So I got that, and then I mailed it to him, and then I just told him to do whatever you want to do. Like, I didn't even ask for a gravedigger. I just said, just do whatever you want to do. Like, because I love, if you look at his Instagram, he's so talented.
Oh, dude, it's nuts how good he is.
It's nuts. And one thing he did that's really cool, this little headstone right here says RIP Overtime Skate Shop on it. So that was the name of my shop. And it's pretty sweet to have like something from him that has a headstone with my thing on it. So pretty cool, man. I like looking at it.
I'd love to see teams come out with some skateboard designs, I'd
like to get behind that.
Dude, yeah. I could totally see you guys, Team Throttle, like a Vendetta deck, just for like, you don't have to ride it, but like just display it, guys like me who I need stuff on my walls. Like I would buy that.
Yeah, and I like these cool old school shapes. They're perfect for that, man.
Like the only skateboard awesome. I have is this guy, and my wife won't let me put it up.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what that is.
Yes, it is.
That's funny.
It's from when Steve from Jackass Forever, when the whole bees thing. But like, I like that skate culture. Like I really wasn't a skater myself. I was more into the BMX and mountain bike scene. That was kind of more my side of it. But like, just seeing what guys were doing, like Chris Cole, and when Sheckler came onto the scene, like,
yeah, I'm surprised you know this much. That's cool, man.
Oh, dude, like
cool.
Dude, one of my favorite movies is the movie Grind. Okay,
yeah,
like that movie still to this day. I have watched that movie so much with my brother, but like, dude, like that whole action sports era of the early mid 2000s was just special.
I'm pretty sure one of those main characters in that movie is from my town. I'm trying to remember his actual name. I think it's like Vince something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
He's literally went to the same school I went to. Pretty cool.
This. We got Devin saying my favorite coworker.
Yeah. / roommate.
He said big dog.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss having him on the tour, man. On a series.
He's on my tour.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's fun, dude. He's a good guy.
Alex Barden. Oh, Michael Letcher.
I guess they had Two Extreme had some boards about.
Oh dang, I didn't know that.
A decade ago. Yeah.
I'd like to get my hands on one.
Alex Barden says, "Ask Berto his to-go House of Rock order."
That place he's saying, House of Rock. Alex lives. His place is literally 30 minutes from me. He lives in Rockport, but Yeah, we have a spot in downtown Corpus Christi called House of Rock, and I can't get enough of these. They're called pepperoni rolls, pepper rolls, and then they have a thing called rooster sauce, and you got to get the rooster sauce with the pepper rolls. I mean, it's the best thing in the world, and yeah, it's awesome.
That sounds. And then it's Vince Viloof.
There it is. That's my sister. That's one of my sisters right there. Yeah.
Like that movie Grind was just a classic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, just like the amount of times I've watched that the scene where they're doing the dance and the party and they get kicked out, like it's just
Yeah.
And they had legitimate like pro skaters. I think
Yes, plenty of them.
one of them played one of like the like douchebag kind of crew guys.
Let me think.
Not Chaz Ortiz, or was it Chaz Ortiz?
Chad Fernandez.
Yes, Chad Fernandez. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I definitely miss the skate culture a lot. I mean, I still, like, every time I come into town, I just got into town. I haven't even told my friends I'm here yet, but every time I come into town, it's always, the text I get over here is, we're going to go skate. We're going to go skate. We're going to go skate. and I try to still. I mean, I can skate still, but it's just a matter of trying to get that time in there.
Lame Boy or Wet Willie?
Oh, man. Dude, those graphics were crazy.
And if people need context, World Industries.
Yeah. They're back. That company came back. I don't have a choice on that one. I never had a World board. I always looked at them in the CCS magazines, and then there'd be like another one next to it. I think it was a Powell deck that was always right there.
I never had the money to buy myself a theme board. I always bought a blank deck, like a black board.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, all the scope boards are kind of like
eBay blanks were a thing for a minute too. People were buying like bulk eBay blank decks for some reason. You get 15 decks at once, and then you're just set for a while.
But then you get good axles and wheels and stuff like that, like the hardware. You buy all that good stuff for the board.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and then you have a pretty good skateboard, good tape.
Yeah.
But the board, the wood board itself was, not as good as others, but it would just do for what you need to do,
Shoot.
And then you just do your thing.
When I first started skating, or all the way up until I got sponsored, I didn't even know there was different board sizes. I was just getting graphics I thought were cool. And then sometimes I'd be like, man, this board feels terrible. I hate this company. And it was just a different size. But like, it's crazy how a fragment of an inch makes a huge difference under your feet.
Oh yeah, I remember like when my buddies would get a new deck, they'd be like, "Man, the pop on this thing is just not there," and
yeah,
like,
oh, because the tail is literally shorter. They just didn't know it.
They just couldn't get the same tricks. Like I remember when one of my buddies first learned a 360 flip for the first time, we were all losing our minds in front of his house. Like, you finally landed a 3 flip. Like, what?
You feel like you're seeing a pro in the making.
Yeah.
We never did that. We always try to jump the guys try to jump as many stairs. So if they can clear like 5 or 6 stairs, we'd be like, man, that's awesome. And then we go back to their house and play Madden football. So
I got a 13 stair under my belt back in my day.
Oh, yeah. I think the highest I ever saw was 8.
Nice.
I remember when a lot of my friends were starting to get into like a lot of like the Rodney Mullen Flatland stuff, like trying to do like the Primo and Remos, and I'm just like, just stop. You're not anywhere near Rodney Mullen. You can't even beat Daewon Song or like
just about to this day. Nobody's still. It looks goofy when anyone else tries to do it but him.
It's just funny. I would be cheap on buying a skateboard, but I'd try to save money and buy myself a Haro.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean.
Yeah, man. I definitely miss the skate stuff, and I do have plans to do some more stuff like this maybe in the future.
I'm surprised. Do you bring a board with you to the shows? Just skate around the pits and
I did at one point. I did, but my grip tape got extremely dirty.
You know what, Berto? We should make a skateboard theme truck. We should design a skateboard inspired truck.
Dude, give it to me.
Roll out.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I have ideas for tricks I would want to do, but I keep that to myself. But I do have like monster truck ideas and how I would do certain tricks if given the opportunity.
That'd be sick.
There's a couple of things you think that are possible without being too crazy. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like we've seen cars grind. Why not a monster truck?
It's got to be around the corner. I mean, I think that if I say this now and you see it later, just remember I said it. But I think that the way they got the berms right now,
Yeah,
and a lot of the racing, I think it's possible to have a structure that has like coping on it, like on a half pipe. So, and if you were to hit the rear steer just right, you could do like a Smith grind.
dude, that'd be sick.
And you would hear it, like it would be audible. It wouldn't. I don't think it would hurt the housing, or you could, I would want to weld probably like a big blade at the bottom.
MJ is just Berto's gonna kickflip a truck.
Yeah.
The funny
I'm
thing
definitely
is,
not scared
I remember Chad Fortune tried to do some type of, I don't think it was a grind, but somehow kick. In the World Finals, you would have those dumpsters along near the.
I already know what you're gonna say. I think, yeah.
And then he tried to kick. He did that
Like-
with Captain America, and
Yeah.
it worked. And they tried again with Soldier Fortune, and it didn't work. Rolled it over, but he was trying to do the kind of
like a backside air or something.
something like
Yes.
that.
I think it's totally doable with the right cupping and the right ramp being designed. That would be another one of the things. Like I totally think of like just a standard like backside air could happen, and it would be like almost a setup for something right in front of you again. So I think there's some stuff that can be done there. Something that just looks different. And
They always say that there's always a ceiling. I don't believe there's ceilings in monster trucks. Someone's got to come out with something.
yes,
It's going to be the only ceiling that we have to deal with is domes and arenas. But
yeah,
Well, and also the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
yes.
What?
Hopefully, someone else's dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. Moves and stuff like that is always
Mhm.
someone's going to try to do something crazy.
And there's a few things that I like to do already that stuff I can do that I like, and like in the arenas I was kind of trying to make it my thing where like when I would come up to do a nose wheelie on the like a popper off the logs, I liked to be able to hit it with momentum, ride it fluently with no brake or nothing, just ride it fluently, and then kind of hold it to where it's right oververt and flop it right up off the end and land in the transition of the other side. To me, that's like skating on like a ledge on a pyramid. It's like doing like a nose grind over a pyramid. And so like I apply that stuff to the truck whenever I can.
I could totally see somebody like bringing like a fun box idea or something like
Yeah.
you have like a ramp that has a little kicker at the end,
Mhm.
and somehow it brings the ass of the truck up, and you can do like we were talking about, do like in a way a nose manual across it and then come
Yes.
down. Like
Yeah.
I think
Oh, I
like-
got a clip on my Instagram where I got one of those, like how I'm trying to explain it. And it's like, I was proud of it when it happened. I was so proud of it. And then I think there's like a couple of my skate friends that commented on it. They're like, dude, was that a nose manual? And I was like, thank you. I'm glad you noticed that.
But dude, like bring meat culture to monster trucks. I think that'd be such a cool thing. Like it would set you apart from so many other people in the industry. Like it's somebody said, CK15 here. Bring a Rottweiler deck with you that you can bring to the shows. Like display
Man,
it,
dude,
bring pit party.
That like graphic that's on the back of my fire suit, whenever I turn around, that looks like a Santa Cruz deck. Like the Rottweiler face that's on the back of the fire suits, it looks just like it should be on a board for sure.
Like that would be
maybe,
sick.
You maybe rekindle someone's love again for it.
Right.
I know the little Zimmer, he skates.
He rips around with the board. Yeah.
Yep. he
I was
does
happy
that.
when I saw that. I was like, oh, all right, like another guy. That's awesome. Yeah, I was stoked when I saw him with the board. I think he had a Baker board when I saw him. Yeah, pretty sweet.
There we go, Brad. Step up.
There we go.
Hey, I'm willing. Hey, if you want to make some of this stuff come to life, man, I'm down. I love skate culture. I love that whole era. Like when it was
Yeah,
like
same.
even like freestyle motocross,
Yeah.
BMX, like that era that we all grew up in, that early X Games era.
Adrenaline era. I
Oh,
mean,
like
adrenaline.
even not just X Games, Gravity Games.
Yeah, I
I'll
remember
bust
that.
like
Yeah,
that's
Gravity Games B3. I remember all that.
oh yeah, like
And
I remember watching the downhill luge and stuff from the X Games.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that stuff was crazy,
They used
man.
to do some weird stuff. They used to jump out of airplanes with like snowboards. I remember all that. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a place for it for sure. And to me, like that's what excited me a lot whenever I did finally get like the first chance I ever got to jump a truck. It took me right back to when I used to like do like fat big melon grab skating. Like I used to love ripping around the park and getting the most air I could skating because that wind's coming by you and it just feels so good to get airborne. And then I hadn't had that for a few years. And then, yeah, when I got to jump a truck for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, there's that feeling again. I miss this so bad. So that's probably why stuff like Lamar happened. But, I like jumping. I like it. And I love being airborne.
Also
I've
shows
just
that you're not
always
afraid.
been that way. I'm no fear at all. Yeah, I love it.
That's cool. Any social media people can follow you at?
Berto, I mean, I think on Instagram, I'm just simply Berto Trevino on Instagram. I'm just on Instagram and Facebook, pretty much. That's
And then
it.
on Monster Jam, you are part of the Monster Jam Arena West Championship Tour.
Yes, look out. Look out. Me, Tim Hall Jr., Devin Winfield, Joe Uri, all of us are coming. We're coming in hot, man, on that series. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean,
Weston
everybody's.
Anderson, I think.
Yeah, hey, you know what I like about Weston is, like we did a show and we did a weekend over in Los Angeles, and I was talking like the way the single log was cupped. I was like, oh, this is perfect for big air, like perfect. And we're all talking about wanting to clear the pod, and I was like, oh, trust me, I'm clearing that pod tonight. And Weston like instantly was like, oh, you want to have a contest? And so then we made it a point to both try to clear it as hard as we could, just so we could screenshot our airs and see who was a little higher. And so yeah, he'll push me probably, but it'll be fun.
He'll push a lot of people.
Yes, yeah, he is.
Oh, like seeing Weston drive in person in Edmonton this year was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cause like
He's wild.
you think he won't be able to save the truck from the position it's in? No, he does.
Oh yeah, the reverse stuff is just crazy.
Oh yeah, but like I feel like definitely Devin is going to be a threat, but Tim is going to be a threat this year.
Tim wants it. I'm telling you, man, everybody's hot right now. Everybody wants it. Team Throttle is legit. I'm not just saying this because I'm working with them, man. Like it feels so good to be with a team that is just wanting to go forward and forward and forward and more and more and more. He pushed me on. I saw that. And but I mean, I couldn't be part of a better team. I mean, seriously, thank you, Paul and Mike, for having me on board and trusting me with your equipment, especially after some of the things I've done. But trusting me with your equipment and knowing that we're all seriously in it because we love this and we want to bring out the best in everybody, not just our team. Like, I mean, it's more enjoyable when everybody's fierceful out there. We all love it. So, I mean, couldn't be part of a better team. Like I said, thank you again to Paul and Mike. This opportunity is a legitimate dream come true. I mean, I'm getting to, like you said earlier, not only do I get to do Monster Jam, but I'm getting to go out there and do Toughest and All-Star. Like, I'm getting to do a bunch of different stuff within one calendar year. So.
Oh, but before we go, how was it driving on that Charlotte track?
I loved it. I wish I could get another go around it because whenever I had so the first thing obviously that we're doing there is racing, and that track is it's a monster of a racing track.
It's probably the longest track you probably run.
Absolutely.
It's like minute laps.
Yes, and so we had to change our T-case gears, throw some 13s in there, and then I'd never been down on the throttle for as long as I was to feel the truck vibrate like it did. Right before I hit the gap jumps, like I thought I lost a drive shaft. Like I didn't know what that feeling was, but it was just like that much power going that fast. It was pretty seriously wild
You don't
experience.
understand how, like percentage-wise, how much, not a lot of percentage of the truck you're actually using in like an arena tour show
Right.
or some of these
Right.
tracks. And when you go to Charlotte and you find the full potential,
Oh yeah.
you find out how crazy these monster trucks actually are.
It's awesome, man. And then shoot, and had I not blown a tire out in my freestyle, I knew which ramp I was going to hit next because I had found like the perfect my style launch of a big long bar jump. I couldn't wait to get to that side of the track, and I hit another bus because they had everything was a bus jump pretty much out there. So I hit another bus and then just tire popped and said goodbye and still threw another jump in there for fun, but they had to shut it off, obviously. But it was awesome, man. That experience, that place was huge. I'd never. It was I was very fortunate that I was able to get just enough experience under my belt with the places I went to right before that to be ready for it. So hopefully I get to do it again next year.
It's one of those. I think it's one of those veteran level tracks. I mean, I think it's very difficult for someone being new to drive on that track.
Yeah. It was. I was learning throughout the whole day, but it was fun, man. It was fun to learn on. Like that was an awesome track.
And that final, holy cow!
Holy cow! That was. I mean, where I was right behind the catch fence where Zim ended up at the end there, and I was waiting for him to be done to run out to Dalton, and it was we couldn't believe what was it just unfolded and kept unfolding, and thankfully everybody's good. I mean, the trucks are so filled up with so much. Everything's a safety feature every safety feature that needed to work did. So that's the best thing out of all that. So I mean, that's a testament to how safe our trucks are now for the drivers.
I didn't know if you had anything else there, Cheech. Sorry.
That was your turn.
Hey, it was amazing to have you on, Berto. We're definitely have to have you on again. And if you want to do anything with that skateboard idea, let me know, dude. I'm already looking at templates right now.
Hey man, we might have to talk about if you can whip up something. I still have the accounts that I had for making these boards. So
yeah,
I can get, if you can get me a file, I can get it on one of these.
I would just need to know what size and everything. And then if you can get, you said there's a thing on the back of your fire seat. If you can get that artwork, dude, we can make it definitely happen. But before I go, Cheech, any social media that people can follow you on? And also just give us a quick recap or whatever you want to do of the HBR Classic you had this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, the 4th annual HBR Classic RC event that we had this time at Eli Field in Monticello, Illinois, about 15 minutes outside of Champaign. It's the home of Horizon Fest, if anyone wants to go there. We had it was a small group. 10 racers came in, about 15 people watched, but 10 really good racers. 4 people won individually. A cool cat on Instagram, Gareth, LVCRC, won the retros. Josh Rhodes, Josh Dig Rhodes, he's a Monster Jam technician. He won Sport Mod. Andy Solero, he's actually one of our guests a few months ago. He's actually a former Monster Jam crew guy, technician, safety director, stuff like that. He now runs RCs and he was a pro mod. And then Dustin, I forget, I'm going to screw up his name. Spallone, the crew member, and now the newest member of Elliot Miller's driving club. He won freestyle. So there was some monster truck history going on there. Good group. Thank you to J Concepts. Thank you to Hall Brothers Racing for keeping this ball rolling. J Concepts with the giveaways. Thank you to Horizon Hobby. Horizon Hobby didn't have a tent or anything to give away for raffles, but they gave us the best thing that was there, a track. So we had 2 tracks. We had Roundy Round, and we had some SoCal. like 2010 SoCal racing with some old school roundy round racing, stuff like that. Different rounds and a freestyle that was really crazy. I'm hopefully next year we could pursue this, make it a little bit bigger, have some maybe drivers sign some autographs, meet Mark and maybe Kurt, stuff like that. Maybe other people, I don't know. We're just gonna try to make it bigger. Just hope other groups like somewhere in North Cal that doesn't reschedule it on the same time that most people we're going to miss out, or other events that are going on vacation. It was different because of we redid some stuff inside the shop, and we had no more room in the shop to do anything RC related. Just had to find a new home, and Horizon came over and stepped it up and helped us out big time with that. So thank you for what they have done. Cal RC, Isaac Ankrum, his 3D printing group came out and bailed the thing big time, making our trophies. One gentleman that was sponsoring the event did not fulfill the duties of what he needed to do, and GTO ready for a rowdy dog fight all first quarter. We'll try our best. We'll get rowdy, get crazy, and have some fun. So that's what we're gonna try to do, is have a good time, and hold on tight. What Tony Oak says, hold on to your pants. It's gonna get hot. So
Well, single lock Tony.
Yeah.
So once again, I thank you for everyone that has helped out, and all those people that did too. So hopefully next year we'll try to get the 5th anniversary and have people all over. We had people from one guy from Colorado that came over, a husband and wife team from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that came over. So we had a lot of people that it was weird because I was actually the local. I'm not really local, but local as in trying to help out, and it was crazy to do that. But the opportunity that I got. So I'd like to thank everyone, like I said, for that awesome program, and all congratulations to everyone that won, and also Andy and Michael Spurlock. They helped out with, and Aaron James helped put the show together with me, help make the track, gave me the tools that I need to produce the music, and then also produce the timing system, a bunch of stuff like the laptop and stuff like that to get the show going, and help me with the tents and etc. So and also, like I said, I'd like to thank Hall Brothers for even allowing me to trust me to bring my truck in for display. I had my truck also in display there. So we're not the only other group that does monster truck displays during RC events too. So, but that's the benefit of being a driver and being a team member, is the opportunities that you get to do that, which is awesome. And can't thank them enough for that, and can't thank the sponsors and all the people that help out. Thank you again. So look forward to next year and having a bigger, much better group. I really want to get a food truck. That seems like a goal for this next event, to get like 2 food trucks. That'd be awesome, and and go from there. So we'll try our best to get some tacos and burgers. If not, I'll just bring out a grill and just start cooking while I'm announcing. So it'll be like my Jeff Bursey moment, or Mike Welch. I'm inside the monster truck doing my own announcing while I'm on the grill flipping burgers while those guys are running RC trucks. So can't wait for that. Second week of June, by the way, is Horizon Fest. If anyone's interested in that same area, airplanes, boats, rock crawling, 8-scale buggies, even solid axle monster trucks. Go take a look at that and have fun. I think in California, we're talking about promotion of the RC stuff while we're at it here. Take a second. I think the SoCal RC Monster Truck Group's having a big winter final, December 14th. So be on the lookout there. I think it's going to be at a track winter finals. Yeah. Normally, what I think it's like the Bones Golf Track or something. I'm screwing it up, and I'm gonna get corrected in the chat very very soon. But Boneyard, that's it. I knew it was something like that. They have that event. They do like a cool mini jam type deal once a year also. Us at the podcast sponsored that for them and stuff. So go take a look at that. December 14th. I believe it's in California, but go there and have some fun and enjoy yourself on that. And then we'll be getting ready for some, and also around Illinois, CRC Hobbies, Michael Spurlock, who helped me out. They're doing a league in Peoria, Illinois, if anyone's interested. The dates is on, I think, some of the Facebook pages. And then soon to be Trigger King, maybe doing a collaboration with Trigger's Racing Group, which sponsors some of my sport mods. And it could be possible that there could be some winter series going on there, too. So be on the lookout on the social media pages, too, there. Social media-wise, Dan Chichagosh on Facebook. Instagram, MT_DanAgosh28. A cool video that I did a dealership over in Gun Barrel, Texas, the most Texas named city in Texas, Gun Barrel City, Texas, right outside of Dallas. We're going to go there. We'll be in Texas again, actually near Hidalgo, 2 dealerships there. We're going to bring out the ride truck. Old Nader Jam himself is going to be there to give some rides and help out. And we're going to have some fun there. And then I think it's the 7th and 8th of this month. And then I think it's like 17th, 18th. I don't know the dates on that one. But we'll be there in the next couple weeks with the ride truck in Texas. So
Hey, is that on a weekend?
Yeah, it's on the weekend.
I might just come hang out. That's probably like 2 hours from me.
Okay, so
yeah.
Really, it's just crazy because sometimes for like, when I think of Texas, I find out that's the biggest continental state in the United States. So when when I say, hey, I'm gonna be in Texas, oh, where at? Oh, it's a 10-hour drive for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you live in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a big state. So.
I think Hidalgo is only a couple hours though.
Oh, okay, so yeah, we're gonna be near Hidalgo, and we're closer to the airport there. Whatever that airport, it's in the Hidalgo area anyway. So we're gonna be there for some ride truck stuff. So come and hang out. We're gonna just chill pretty much. I mean, give people rides and just all that stuff.
Heck yeah.
Go from there. So, but that's all for me. How about you, Mr. Incredible?
You can check me out on Instagram at the only monster truck Canucker. Yeah, I still got the stupid head cold. Check out Bradshaw Designs. I did some stuff with Joy Sylvester and doing a little bit of NHRA stuff with second generation driver Travis Shoemake. BMNG Bradshaw Designs Pack is coming soon. Working on that. And then just trying to get better at Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I haven't bought
you're hooked on that game, aren't you?
I haven't bought a Call of Duty. I'm not lying, since when Ghosts came out. So it's been a long time, and my brother convinced me to get Black Ops 6, and I'm loving the campaign mode. It is quite fun already. So I suck at multiplayer, but I will get better. So, but yeah, go check that out.
Currently, I'm hooked on NCAA 25. Football guy right now.
Oh, and I'm also replaying Tony Hawk's Underground for the millionth time.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing Tony Hawk number 1, and then I bought an N64 out of a pawn shop and bought that game with Mario Kart and GoldenEye, Vigilante 8.
Dude.
Wayne Gretzky's NHL 98. And
Dude.
then Madden football and N64. So I've been on N64.
Y'all are pumping me up right now, man. I might just plug in my old PlayStation and throw in some Crash Bandicoot or something.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Do it. Cheech.
Yeah. Well, I just ordered Super Smash Brothers too. So I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
much better on GameCube, but yeah.
Yeah, N64 is still goaded. Do we have any guests on next week, or is that going to be a TBA?
It's a TBA. I'm working right now on getting Dalton Skyblock on, and maybe get him in and go from there.
Okay.
I do have a GameCube too, and I've been hooked on Mario Soccer.
If we do get Dalton Van Skylock on, my only request of Dalton, if you're watching, my only request is that we get T-Rex on at the same time.
Can we do that, Dalton?
Because it's Rexy, okay? And if y'all know who I'm talking about, good old Rexy, it's gonna be a riot.
I'm trying to download some Eliminators too on my computer. I want to get a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I got a PS2.
Cool? I'll be right back. Hold on.
This is how it usually goes. We try to end, but then we just go on a random rant.
Yeah. Oh man.
I got this for my semi.
The retro the retro SNES.
Yep, I have a.
I just took mine out. I have that same thing.
My brother uses his. My brother streams online, and he does all these Mario hacks and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do it.
Oh, he's having surgery on the 11th. Well, he should be.
Oh,
he
took himself off.
Detonated himself.
All right, well, guys. We might have Dalton. We probably might have Dalton on next week. If Cheech comes back, he comes back. Berto, it was awesome talking to you, buddy, and definitely gonna have to have you on again. And oh, he's back. He's back. Wait a minute. He's back. Is he? He's back.
I'm so excited. I kicked myself out.
I was just about to end her there. Anyways, Cheech.
Yeah, I was about to say, Don said he's having surgery on the 11th. Well, next week, I think that's the week after that, then. So hopefully he can be able to do it. But if not, we could still have Dalton on. I'll hit you up on Facebook, Dalton. We'll have you on next week if it's possible.
Well, you heard it here, guys.
Macy to go after you.
You heard it here, guys. Dalton Van Skylock will be coming on and Crush This at some point. The driver of the amazing-looking Stomper monster truck, might I add. One of my favorite designs I've ever done. I just got to point that out. I still love how that truck came out. But, guys, until next week, since day one, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up, everybody. Peace.